What's up, guys? It's Corey here with Dapper Dollars. And if you've ever been lucky enough to get on a trend, you know how amazing it is to have a whole bunch of sales come in at once for a short period of time. But that's just the thing, it's a short period of time. So let's talk about today how you can get in those trends, stay on the trends, and how you can keep sales coming in even after the trends are gone. Sound good? Let's get started. Cool. So, if you've ever been lucky enough to had jumped on one of those trends, you know how amazing it is to just see those sales coming in, but whenever the trend goes away, it's a little bit heartbreaking because you had, 10, 20 sales of one shirt every day. You were making, 100, 120 bucks a day. It was freaking incredible. But after it goes, you don't really know, like if it's the solstice or the eclipse, it was one of those things where it just disappeared forever. And that's one of the main things that we need to talk about before we get into the details of how to do this. You need to get on the right trends. Trends that are going to be awareness, things that are like, autism, leukemia, anti-bullying is coming up, breast cancer. I think September, October, one of those months is breast cancer. There are so many awareness months nowadays that, these trends, whenever the month is happening or the week is happening, it's a great spike. But if you're able to get in these trends, get on top and stay there, you've got sales coming in throughout the year. Because I've got autism shirts that sell, I might link to one right here, but anti-bullying stuff, that's one of the examples I'm going to use to show you how I I'm in the anti-bullying space right now, even before it's happenening. So once those sales start coming in for the actual month, it's going to be crazy. So anyway, that kind of leads me to the first example, or first tactic, is you need to get in early. And I'm talking early, because it's July right now. I started making anti-bullying shirts in June, and anti-bullying isn't until October. So it's kind of like Halloween. If you want to hit that trend just right, you need to be cranking out Halloween designs now. But again, let's think about this again. Halloween is one of those things where it comes once a year and it's gone. No one's buying werewolf costume t-shirts, throughout the year. But kids are born every day with autism. People who are teachers want to raise awareness for why kids shouldn't bully each other. So making shirts and, designing around these kinds of trends are what's really going to elevate you into, making consistent sales. And whenever the awareness months do come around once a year, it's going to be a pretty sweet bump. So now let's talk about the anti-bullying trend, because that one's coming up in October, and I'll take you through what I've done to solidify myself in this space right now. So how it started was I went and looked at a website for awareness months. I'll put that right here. And anyway, so the anti-bullying was coming up. Anti-bullying seems like one of those things where it's one of those that's going to sell year round. Teachers probably don't want kids bullying each other in schools. Parents don't want kids bullying each other. Bullying's just not a good thing. The rule of threes. For some reason, everyone always does 3. There's always 3. Third one's always inconsequential because they just want to say the third thing and make it round. But anyway, it's for another day. So anti-bullying started off just seeing what was out there. Like most trends, you want to find who's doing what the best and not copy, but do your best to put a good spin on what they're doing. And what I saw was that there were a whole bunch of different phrases. So, I'll throw a few shirts up here, different phrases that I went after. And whatever sold, I started to make more of that. So spread kindness was one that I started with, and it was honestly like a really janky design. It wasn't anything spectacular, but it started getting sales right away. So what I did was I made another one, and it started getting even more sales because I put more effort into that design. I figured out what about this design was probably getting people's attention, what elements could be a little bit cooler just to get it more visual appeal. And yeah, if you'll notice that these do usually have some sort of vector stock image feel to them. So not ashamed of that. I mean, it's easy to crank out those if you have, you know, purchased those stock images. So anyway, those started to sell really well, and it's a lot of what Ken Reel says. You know, you want to fatten those niches. If something is selling, you want to get in there and you want to just make yourself as big in that space as possible. So spread kindness, anti-bullying was a real, or is still a real, you know, I'll put my numbers right here to show you that this has been, you know, a popular seller for me for the last month or so. But anyway, I put a little bit more effort into it because there was another shirt that was a Stop Bullying shirt, and you know, it was had a real neat thing. It was like a handprint, and it just had a really cool feel to it. So I figured, hey, might as well make it another spread kindness shirt. So I made it. It sells, and it's just one of those things where once this trend comes, you know, it's not even here yet and all these things are selling. The same with my autism shirts, the same with mental health, the same with, well, maybe that's it. But anyway, you get the gist. When you get on these trends early, when you solidify your spot, if you have AMS, use it, but it's not required. But you just want to make sure to get in these trends, hit them hard. You don't need to go in and put like 5 designs up. 5 designs aren't going to do it. 10, 20, 30 designs are really going to give you a better feel for, and not just like 10 designs with different fonts. I'm talking 10 different variations of like a completely different design, completely different sayings. And that way you're going to find out which sayings are popular, what graphics go with that saying, what colors go with those graphics with that saying, and you're going to be able to find, you're going to crank out designs that are just bam, bam, bam. You can probably tell, you know, what the elements are in these anti-bullying shirts. So if you want to go out and make a few of those, obviously if you do any blatant copying, I'm going to trademark, or I'm not going to trademark, but I'm going to file an infringement report and get those taken down. But anyway, you can probably tell what the elements are in spread kindness and anti-bullying that are really getting people's attention. On keywords, that's another big thing. You use Merch Informer, they're great for helping find out those keywords. But yeah, that's the process of getting into a trend and then making it an evergreen. Because guys, once you get into those trends and just really ride that wave, Amazon is going to love your designs, and they're going to keep you there as long as possible to make sure that you keep selling shirts, because when you make money, they're making money. So just hit those trends hard. Look for anti-bullying month coming up. Leukemia awareness is coming up. Make sure you check that out. And yeah, look at that website. Make sure to check out whatever trends are coming up and hit those hard. And remember, somebody's going to do something amazing every day. Why not you? See ya. Oh, like and subscribe.